St. Peter's in the grays, Iona in the maroon and gold, and we are set. Final game of the night, quarterfinal action, day 2 in Atlantic City. And St. Peter's will get things started on the offensive end. Here's Banks to start us as they get going, looking to build off of what has been a turnaround season. They've played well in this tournament, now looking to make the run here in 2020.
Iona starts out very aggressive in the matchup zone, comes up with a quick steal.
Washington was headed down on the offensive end, but Peacocks quickly taking it away. And hang on. Looks like the shot clock never reset after the change of possession. It was down to 3 as St. Peter's was working into the front court.
Great call, G. You're on top of your game early. Shot clock did not reset. But again, you take a look at Iona, very aggressive in that matchup zone. When you see an Iona team and they're locked in on the defensive end, that's a great sign. But how long do they want to play defense? When they're at their best, they're willing to sacrifice and play defense for the entire shot clock. But when they go through lulls and they get a little lazy, they only play for the first 20 seconds of the shot clock.
And that's a challenge, especially against a St. Peter's team that runs so many guys out there. You have to bring that intensity no matter what their lineup.
Early on, it looks like they're locked in.
So far, so good. Taylor will test that and hit. Quinn Taylor from distance, and St. Peter's is on the board.
Quinn Taylor with the long-range bomb. Again, doesn't shoot a whole lot of three-pointers, but I love the rotation on that last shot.
The senior from Texas on a fairly young team. He's been a veteran presence.
He's the glue guy, Greg, who keeps everything together. You talked about him being a senior, understanding so many freshmen on the team. He's the type of guy who takes everyone and say, listen, I need you young fellas to play your best for me as I close out my career.
We'll have a turnover here as Isaiah Washington was looking to advance the ball.
Those are the type of turnovers, unforced, that Iona can't afford. Last night, Washington was able to bring up the ball really with no pressure at all. Tonight, he has to expect a lot of pressure.
The St. Peter's team brimming with confidence after the way they've played during the regular season, picking up the 2 wins against Iona. This is a rematch from the MAAC tournament a year ago. But the shoe was on the other foot. It was Iona that was the top seed as Drame on the running bank shot through the lane and a 5-0 lead for the Peacocks.
Beautiful attack move by Drame, getting into the lane, off the glass with the hook.
E.J. Crawford so big in 2 losses to St. Peter's, so big last night. He dominated from the free throw line of all places. You think of his versatility, inside-outside guy, they tore it up from the line in the win over Canisius.
E.J. Crawford is a professional scorer. He's going to put numbers up on the board, whether he's going to get it from the field or the free throw line. Nice pull-up by Isaiah Washington.
Another guy that says, hey, I can score at a professional level. Isaiah Washington connecting.
Thought he had a solid game last night, played a really good floor game, also able to score the ball.
This is the fun part of this matchup is each side has so many guys that can light it up. The lob, MAAC, and wave it off. They will say basket interference. A floater that looked like it may have dropped.
Yeah,
on the move, Estrada.
I really thought that was going in, Greg. Estrada going to the, using that left hand. You know what? It was actually off. But he caught that early. But the big fella being aggressive. You like the early start by both teams.
MAAC at 7-1. Only he'll know if that ball was truly off. High above the rim to put that down.
Well, we discussed you playing above the rim when you used to play, correct?
Correct, yes. On those 6-foot hoops, I was well above the rim. Here comes Estrada now, all the way to the bucket, hanging the follow. Taylor cleans it up.
Great aggressiveness. I like Estrada going right at the basket, but Taylor not quitting on the play.
Quinn Taylor, good start early, 5 points.
Now, Greg, this is the big difference from last night to tonight. Last night, Iona was able to bring the ball up with no duress. Now, every possession, you see pressure on the ball being brought up. You're going to see Washington bringing the ball up. In this case here, E.J. Crawford, but someone's right on him, and that starts to wear you down eventually.
Yeah, Iona picked up the win last night, but an area where they struggled, foul trouble. Tawana Agee ends up fouling out in that game. They ran into some other areas of foul trouble. Still with the victory, that's how deep they are. But St. Peter's could prove to be a tougher matchup. Von Eyck down low. He is stripped. Last touch on the Gales. It'll be St. Peter's basketball.
and that's an area Tawan has dabbled in foul trouble throughout the season. Ultra talented at 6'8", maybe one of the best players, arguably the best player when he's on top of his game, but he has to stay out of foul trouble, be on the floor, and the one thing he and I joke about is his body language.
Taylor. Good follow. Drame can't get it to go, and Washington comes out of the pack. Quinn Taylor is about to get off to an 8-point start. Instead, Iona looking to get one of their stars involved. And Crawford is so dangerous off the dribble.
E.J. Crawford, when he gets you in a triple threat position, it's usually very difficult for the defender. He's a lefty, which is a tough guard. He can put it on the floor, able to knock down the three. And what I really like about his game, he's developing his back to the basket mid-post game at 6'6", really a tough guard.
We talked with acting head coach Trey Arnold before the game, and I asked him, what do you love about E.J. Crawford's game? And he said his ability to attack the basket and score. There's a foul there, so he doesn't get all the way to the hoop, but that's the sort of thing they like to see out of him. Crawford, difficult crossover. Von Eyck has second thoughts. Shot clock now to 7. Here's AG. Skip pass. Ross triples up. No good. Iona off the mark from distance to start. Just 2 points, early stages. Just about 4 minutes gone by.
That was a good cross-court find by A.G. Ross, a knockdown shooter, unable to put that three down.
An air ball from Drame, too much on it. Washington, the handles to move up court. Now 4 minutes gone by, first half. 7-2 the lead for St. Peter's. Washington, set shot. Count it. The triple is good for Isaiah Washington.
Good decision by Isaiah Washington, understanding they're trying to play off him, not allowing that post feed to go in. He steps back, knocks down the three. Good rotation.
The junior from Harlem, New York, a transfer from Minnesota. They've added some new pieces over the last couple of years. He's a big one. Drame right to the bucket. Offensive foul, the charge. And some things starting to come together now for the Gales after the slow start. They get the triple from Washington. The Von Eyck charge. Gales within 2. Defending champs turning to Washington from downtown. Early stages. Quarterfinal action. MAAC tournament. With Carolina in the first round. And there were high hopes this year. They were in the top 25 in the College Insider preseason poll. Stumbled in conference play to a 9-11 record by their standards, but here they are at the 7th seed and ready to potentially make another run. AG fading and unable to hit. He started with hesitation last night as well, just off the mark, as now St. Peter's has gone to their bench. Derek Woods, the big man, has come on.
Thought that was a good set Iona ran. Coming out the timeout, AG was open initially, but he did hesitate.
Last touch on Banks. He was pestered by Von Eyck as he tried to move across the court.
And this is the area where you want Iona to stay engaged in the ball game when they have a lull in the offensive end, will they consistently play defense, because you know St. Peter's will keep pressing regardless of what happens on their offensive end.
St. Peter's now in a scoring drought spanning about 2.5 minutes. AG right to work, the baby hook, a little too much.
Solid defense by Woods there, just walling up.
This is a physical matchup here between Woods and AG. Woods clearing out AG. It left space for Drame for the moment. Woods jump stop, floater off the window. Everything but the finish. Clean look now for Banks. Nothing there, and they'll say last touch on St. Peter's.
Woods comes in being very aggressive on both ends of the floor, walled up on the defensive end, coming down offensively. I like the quick duck in a couple of times, unable to score the ball, but very active.
And it looks as if AG was potentially in agreement that he might have touched that basketball last, as Woods couldn't believe it.
Well, again, Tawan has an endearing personality. Sometimes he gets a little upset, and it goes to the extent of, come on, relax. But this young man really can play ball.
No doubt about that. Matthew Lee has come on now for St. Peter's, as has Doug Eddert, an all-rookie team selection. Eddert nowhere to go, being pressured. Little miscommunication there, trying to get it out to both Woods and Lee. Neither guy got it, and it's back to Iona.
Eder, the knockdown shooter, puts the ball on the floor, picked up his dribble, got himself in trouble.
So what you might expect in a postseason start with two teams that are very familiar with each other, bit of a feeling out process, seeing how this one will be called, knowing the personnel so well, and now each side trying to get into a bit of a rhythm.
Well, you understand coming into the ball game, St. Peter's will grind you out on the defensive end. We talked about the ball pressure being consistent. That's how Washington being strong with the ball, drawing the foul. But again, you have a guy like Lee who doesn't let up.
Ross and Washington, they've been so strong from downtown. And as we say that, it's a bit long from Isaiah Ross. Good recovery to close out Eder. Hassan Drame. Good intensity here from Iona. Everything's closed off for St. Peter's, except that. Matthew Lee right down Main Street, counted and the foul.
Talked about Lee being aggressive on the defensive end, being strong there, going to the basket right at Isaiah Washington, looking for an and-one situation. And I love the youngsters nowadays. He gives you the symbol or giving you an idea that Washington was too small for him as he got into the lane.
Second look from behind the basket.
Now, Greg, what would you do if I did that to you and I get into the lane and score and tell you, or at least give you that sign that you're too small?
You better watch out next time down. Three-point play is there for Lee.
Look at Lee and Watson, the pressure.
And now, the man that St. Peter's fans have been waiting for, Casey Nadefo, sixth man of the year, Conference Defensive Player of the Year. And he makes his way onto the court. And how dangerous is a team like St. Peter's when this guy doesn't start?
That's really great to have a guy like Casey come off your bench with that type of energy. He goes after everything. It was great to see him receive both of those awards earlier today.
Yeah, you were there.
I was there.
Handing him out?
No question about it. I talked about Casey being able to guard a 1 through 5. He plays with a chip on his shoulder, always angry. I've never seen him smile, but he did smile this morning.
Smooth can always bring out a smile, and folks. Eddard on the move now. Floater on the way. That'll drop. Doug Eddard showing he's more than just a long-range threat. And St. Peter's surging now ahead 12-5.
That's a shot that most guards have in their arsenal now. If you're not able to get all the way to the basket, that nice soft floater, and Eddard using that. Crawford.
He has his pocket picked. Dallas Watson. The kick out. Lee loads it up for three. Well short. That would have gotten the Peacocks faithful thrilled here in AC. Instead, Iona on the move. Washington. Nowhere to go. AG had a chance there from out top. Decided against it. It'll work out for the Gales as the perimeter foul is called against St. Peter's.
Casey trying to guard Tawan Agee all season long. I marvel out at the ability of a guy like Casey at his size, his weight, to guard some of the bigs in this league.
Really is impressive, and a guy that gets better, not just every year, but every game you see him, seemingly.
And he looks angry, and I think when he is angry, he plays at his best.
Which is not the case for everyone.
You're right.
Crawford, he's off the mark. Iona unable to get on track shooting the basketball. Watson, he's long. Drame, good fight, but Iona there for the strip. That was Ben Perez coming from the backside.
Strong rebound by Drame, but he brought it down. You got to keep that up, young fella.
Both sides cannot hit from deep. 1 for 6. Make it 1 for 7 for Iona. Washington goes long.
And when you're playing a team like St. Peter's, Greg, and you shoot a number of long-range shots that are contested, that's what they want you to do.
Playing right into their hands on defense. Drame, the turn and face. Another shot off the back of the rim. AG, good position here. Turning in close and flexing after the layup and the foul. Tawan Agee will go to the line for a potential three-point play. So the shots aren't falling from the outside. When in doubt, pour it inside to the big man, Tawan AG. Beast mode in close to the line when we return.
You know the jumper goes down, and I'm a scorer, so you keep shooting it.
There's current video, folks.
Yes.
Smooth just probably posted something last week of a jump shot that fell. AG completes the three-point play. It's a 12-8 game, and St. Peter's in the lead, but Tawan AG bringing them to within 4 now at 12-8. Nadefo in close, too strong. Drame, the follow, comes up just short. And Perez in close. He's been aggressive.
Really good look there for St. Peter's. Iona has to do a better job connecting in that matchup zone.
Crawford going to work on Eddard. It leaves Washington. That was deflected on the way up. Good closeout again by St. Peter's.
Really good help and recover defense. I thought Washington had a nice fake to get himself closer to the basket.
And each side could get a little bit closer to the basket because the outside shots have not been falling. Eddard tries to change that. Just circles the rim and away. So you've got St. Peter's now shooting 5 of 17 from the field. Iona 3 for 12. Ross, he'll try his hand. Back rim and away. Gale's now 1 for 8 from distance. Under 10 to play, first half.
Keep in mind, Iona's a very explosive team. The shots that they're missing now, they can easily make in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, they have shown the ability all year long to get on a roll. Shot clock to 4. Lee, too strong. You talked about the Gales' defense, and through 10 minutes, Smooth, they've been up to the task of defending through the very end of that shot clock. Now AG down low and able to lay it up and in, and the more they can target him, it may be an easier path to some points.
Well, the great thing about their team is we talk about them shooting so many outside shots. They have the ability to go down low to Tawan AG if he just finds himself good post position.
Dallas Watson waved this off as he draws the foul out on the perimeter with under 9 to play, and St. Peter's will go back to that bench as Quinn Taylor, Aaron Estrada, and Cameron Jones will come on.
Coach Holloway trying to find that group to give him some added offense. The defense has been solid, but which group can come out and score the ball for him?
Von Eyck back in for Iona, and we've told you about St. Peter's depth. They have 12 guys that average double-figure minutes. No one averages double-figure points. They really spread it around, and it truly is one of those teams where on any given night someone can step up.
In this day and age, that's unbelievable. Obviously, with social media, you want to score. Your buddies and your family are like, why aren't you scoring the basketball? But again, everyone has bought into the system. KC with the nice running hook there. Not known for scoring the ball, but you talked about all these guys sacrificing and contributing to the whole for the team.
And that's a credit to the coach of the year, Shaheen Holloway, to get this group to buy in. You're spot on. Guys want to score the basketball. The points just aren't there for 12 different guys. And now a travel on Isaiah Ross.
And the consistent thing is they all buy into defense. Great effort right there.
There's Holloway, just in his second season. Big turnaround from last year. A lot of new personnel. St. Peter's losing some of their key players a year ago. Devontae Turner, the standout guard. Samuel Dowu, the big bruising forward. Ndefu is a returner, but they brought in a ton of freshmen. Able to put it all together and gel well. Washington now working down low off the window.
Another beautiful move by Isaiah Washington. This entire Iona team used the spin move so well. Keep an eye on that. All these guys, when they get close to the basket, they will use that spin move.
Baseline jumper. That's not typically the shot for Nadefo, as you alluded to. Now Washington. That spin move earlier. Nothing this time. AG against the Defensive Player of the Year. Battling, he is blocked, turned away. AG to the court, no call, and here comes St. Peter's. Watson, he is turned away. Crawford on the other end, blocking it. Timeout is called. The 2020 Hercules Tires MAAC Basketball Championship is brought to you by Pepsi Zero Sugar. Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. With Rich Moore at halftime, but going forward, that will be the status here in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Looking for a backcourt violation there in Dallas Watson as we get back to live action. We play on, and the triple is good for Aaron Estrada.
Love the hard jab step by Aaron to free up a little space, knocks down the three ball, the lefty.
And both teams struggling from deep. That's just the third combined triple. St. Peter's now 2 for 8. They've raised their shooting percentage all the way up to 25%. A foul.
Well, neither team shooting the ball well at all. Love the idea. Iona going to the post area. I talked about Crawford using that mid-post, that 6'6", tough guard, because he can square you up, put you in that position where he can shoot the jumper, go strong to the cup. Now he's earning himself an opportunity to go to the free throw line.
And I like the adjustment by Coach Arnold and the Gales, and you just touched on it. You're not hitting shots. It's not working from the outside. You've tried a variety of shooters. Now get things going towards the basket. And
more importantly, a guy like Crawford at the free throw line, you touched on it earlier, he can score points there. Scorers like to see the ball go to the basket. And in the NBA, you notice a lot of guys after a back-to-back, they go to their post game. Iona had a tough game last night. Go to the post game, save your legs so you're not running up and down as much. Go to some things that are a little bit easier for you. So I like to see Crawford and AG post up more.
Gales had to grind out that 70-60 win against Canisius. Golden Griffins gave them a push well into the second half. St. Peter's in front by 3. Shot clock winding down, an air ball on a long-range try from Cameron Jones, not there.
Tough shot there by Jones, checking into the ball game. Estrada try to create off the bounce.
And we've lauded the advantages of using this many guys on a basketball team. One of the challenges, you have to get in and get in a flow hurry because your time is limited.
And it's more difficult on the offensive end. As far as defense, you know you're going to come out and play hard.
AG thought about it. Now Washington. Shot clock to 7. Estrada all over him. Washington step back. Does not draw iron. An air ball.
Well, both teams have made it clear this is going to be a defensive battle. And you have to figure out where you can score, if you can get some easy transition opportunities or make some solid one-on-one moves.
The St. Peter's team, they finished the regular season winning 7 of 8 coming into Atlantic City. Their only loss to Niagara. Jones, that shot is destroyed by AG, but it'll stay right here with St. Peter's. But the Peacock had found that groove going into the conference tournament and struggling to shoot it here. Good look down low, and AG, emphatic.
That's a big-time block by AG using his length.
Dangerous pass. Shot clock under 10. Estrada. Watson left open. And Tawan AG clears the glass.
Another dribble drive action by Estrada trying to get guys open. I think Watson just needs to step in a little bit closer, and he knocks that down.
AG going back to work. Lost the handle. It goes right to Von Eyck. And they'll repost. AG stepping through, tied up with Woods.
That's really good defense by Woods. And that double team comes over to tie up AG. You'd like to see if he can spin back towards that baseline where the double team isn't.
Jump ball is the call. AG looking for a foul call. But jump ball is what the officials signal. Arrows in favor of Iona. Shot clock with just 4 seconds remaining. Gales will have to go quick. Into Ross, fading from the corner.
That's a tough shot. Good defense by Jones.
Woods looking for his chance to post on this end. And an offensive foul. He got his hand up in the face of Tawan Agee.
Gee, I would have to disagree. Again, when you have two legit bigs, and you and I discuss this all the time, let them battle down there. Again, that's part of what goes on. Inadvertent. I don't think he was trying to hurt or hit Tawan in the head area. But again, this guy's just trying to post up.
Yeah, it's two guys. You talk about their size comparison. Woods, 6'8", 225. Agee, 6'9", 225. It's a physical presence against a physical presence. I think his hand just slips.
That's a natural post up. We oftentimes see in our league where you have undersized guys trying to play defense in the post, and big guys who are legitimate post guys can't do it. But when you have fellas who can match up, let them battle.
Crawford battling now, spinning and blocked. Quinn Taylor all over it. But Nadefo can't hang on. Crawford has it right back. Ross now right to the lane, scooping it up, and he is tripped up going to the basket. He'll draw a foul, and some free throws coming off of a broken play for Isaiah Ross.
Bang, bang action there. Ross able to get the ball and get to the cup. Talked about the Iona players using that spin move. E.J. Crawford getting into that lane. St. Peter's defense waiting for him as he spun.
Ross, the UMKC, University of Missouri, Kansas City transfer, a junior, hits his first, and here was his path to the bucket. Well, that was Crawford initially, and then he gets it back, and away we go.
Well, gee, you know Isaiah Ross has a lot of things going for him. First of all, he's a lefty. Nice stroke. Although he misses that second free throw, and he wears number 20. I love him.
We know that's two of the three steps to being a Chris Smooth-Williams All-American. The third would be hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sadly, he's from Davenport, Iowa. Estrada, the pull-up jump is good. And St. Peter's adds another, now a 4-point lead, 19-15.
Aaron finding the soft spot in that zone. Nice soft touch with the left also.
Under 4 to play. Low scoring, but good energy, intensity on both sides. They've just really struggled to find the bottom of the net.
Look how St. Peter's defensively, they just take you out of your set play. Great defense, good denials.
Agee tries to thread the needle. Gales haven't found the bottom of the net in about 4 minutes. Boardwalk Hall, the scene. Final game, day 2, quarterfinal play. Nadefo battling in close, flipping it up, and draws a foul on Tawan Agee, and Casey Nadefo will get a chance at the line.
Excellent call coming out of the timeout for St. Peter's. Opened up the floor, able to get the ball inside the KC. Strong move going right at the chest of Tawan Agee.
6'7", 195, but looks just a touch undersized against Agee.
That's being very generous. I really think Casey's closer to 6'5". Again, you list him at 6'7", but he jumps out to build him, and he's relentless. You can't teach that. That's an innate ability to go at it all the time.
Can't hit on the first free throw.
He kind of reminds me of you, Greg. He's just relentless.
I appreciate you saying that. I'm relentless at these Atlantic City buffets. That's where I dominate Smooth. Second one goes down. It's a 20-15 lead for St. Peter's. Man, look here from Iona on defense, or rather St. Peter's on defense as the Gales try and work on offense. Crawford, shot clock to 9. Agee powering past Nadefo. Difficult shot. Von Eyck comes in. They'll say a tie-up, a jump ball, and the arrow in favor of St. Peter's.
Well, the one thing St. Peter's defense has done at this point is stifled Iona's offense. They're not running any sets. Everything is one-on-one.
And credit Dylan Von Eyck, the junior from the Netherlands. His playing time has increased over the second half of the conference slate, and he's been right place, right time a few times in this first half.
Von Eyck is like the enforcer type guy on this Iona team.
Taylor, he hit a triple early. Can't connect there. You got Von Eyck enforcing on one end, Nadefo on the other. Ross, he was 2 steps from the bucket and then stripped. Now a 3-on-1 developing to the hoop. Banks can't finish. Point blank range, not there. The Gales break out. Washington, he loses the handle. Nobody can hang on. St. Peter's now again on the move. 3-on-2, Jones dishing and a foul as Estrada was going up for the layup. Not the prettiest basketball you ever saw. And Estrada will go to the line for some free throws.
Well, again, that's a great job by both teams trying to stay active. A little sloppy, but St. Peter's not giving up on the play there, closing it out. Beautiful pass, extra pass here, strong to the cup. Ross with the foul.
Estrada to the line. He has 5 points so far tonight.
As Estrada knocks down that first free throw, that's a perfect example when you use so many players like St. Peter's. When it's end-to-end action, after a while you get a little tired, and at that last portion of that play, you saw the Iona players not getting back as quickly as they did the first time.
That reminded me of a practice in the summer going to run consecutive 3-on-2s, try and score, and then a race down the other end, and finally it resulted in free throws, and St. Peter's adds a couple. Lee will return.
Again, Lee was in earlier with the good ball pressure. Washington gives the ball up to Crawford, and he brings it up.
Quinn Taylor. Look at the posture. Step for step with Crawford. Under 2 to play first half.
And the one thing about this St. Peter's team, when you watch them, they look like they enjoy defending.
AG. 3 on the clock. They'll have to defend the big man. He deals off at the last second, and Washington with that sky-high floater can't hit. Lee comes out of the pack, and he's bumped by Perez.
Again, it's early, 1:40 remaining in this first half. You're starting to see the will of St. Peter's work on Iona. Keep a look at their body language. Although they're the defending champs, they can be fragile sometimes at the mental end. They're so talented, they want to score quickly.
And conversely, I think if you're Iona and you say, well, we're shooting 10% in this first half and we're not getting blown out, that's a bit of a silver lining.
And on the flip side, they understand they can score quickly.
Under 90 seconds left, first half. Nadefo tries to go up over AG. And sailing it high and away.
That's solid defense from Tawan, moving his feet.
Cameron Jones will return in place of Estrada.
St. Peter's relentless with the pressure.
We talk about the benches of each of these teams. Just to give you an idea here as we near halftime, Iona has played 6 players.
Right.
St. Peter's has played 12.
Now, being a former point guard, Greg, you love it when you can just bring the ball down with no pressure. It just starts to wear you down if you have to bring the ball down consistently with someone on you.
Shot clock to 5 now for Crawford. To AG at the horn. The two veterans working together, patience as the shot clock expires, and AG rolls it in off the window.
Again, that's all talent right there. Shot clock going down. Crawford having the wherewithal to get the ball inside the AG. He's so close to the basket, able to put it in off the glass. But this halftime will come as a fitting out, maybe make some adjustments.
And we talked about it, for as much as they've struggled, only down 5 because St. Peter's has not been much better. They are only shooting it at 18% from the field.
Now, this may sound far-fetched. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tawan AG bring the ball down a couple of times.
He is multi-talented. The left here from Taylor. Not there, then AG is fouled. He was ready to bring the ball up.
Greg, that's a crafty move by the vet there. Tawan's tired after grabbing that rebound. He sells that well, and the best thing about this, it allows him to get to the free throw line, and they get to rest.
Second look.
Strong rebound, subtle touch. He goes down. They have to call a foul. He's at the free throw line.
senior from Chicago, Illinois, the Tyler Junior College transfer out of Texas. Knows exactly what he's doing. A savvy veteran in this league. And he goes to the line here. A 78% free throw shooter.
And when he's playing at his best, this Iona team takes a tremendous leap. There's no one in this league who matches up well with him with his skill set.
And he's always been one of the guys in this league that just looks like a next-level talent. He has all the physical attributes.
He's an all-airport guy. He walks through the airport. You say, that guy's good. He plays somewhere.
He's an all-airport guy. Terminal to terminal, they know his name. Shot clock is off. 12 seconds left here in the first half. 4-point game, St. Peter's. Lee on the move, the foul line pull. Taylor at the horn. No dice. And we've pulled into halftime. The second-seeded St. Peter's Peacocks. No surprise, they're getting pushed by the four-time defending champs, Iona Gales. St. Peter's ahead, 22-18. It has been Iona's show for most of the last decade.
St. Peter's want to try to change some things.
Peacocks last won this back in 2011. AG sets his feet and cannot hit. MAAC is back on. The big man corrals the rebound.
You don't want to start off the half with a settled shot. Run your offense, see if you can get something easy.
Shot clock under 10. Timer to 4. Banks goes to work. MAAC tries to keep it alive. Gales break out. Ross, 1-on-4. Nowhere to go. He's into the cheerleaders. Full head of steam, crashing out of bounds, and it's back to St. Peter's.
Now, Greg, those are the opportunities you have to take advantage of. Great defensive set there. You get a chance to get out in transition, and Ross loses the dribble, and he goes at the camera guy. I think that's an Iona guy. Hopefully he's okay. But you have to be able to contain your ball handling skill there and close that out.
He's okay. All smiles. Opening minute, second half. Banks. Still cold.
Great box out by Isaiah Washington. He's one of the better guards rebounding the basketball in the league.
Washington, beautiful change of direction. AG trying to power up over MAAC. He does, lays it home, and it's a 2-point game, 22-20.
And the one thing Washington does really well, he consistently tries to get AG going. Got into the lane, got up in the air. AG able to pick it up. Good, strong pump fake, and he goes up to the basket, draws a foul on the other end. Battling hard. You need him to be consistent. Looks like he got hit in the chest or neck area.
Just taking a moment to catch his breath, assess. This is not a very Iona-like basketball game. They typically average 70 points per game.
They want to get up and down. I made a reference earlier in the season in Orlando. They want to play like Dykeman basketball. And I owe an apology to everyone up in the Harlem area. I made a mistake and said the Bronx, Dykeman basketball in Harlem. That's the way these guys from Iona want to play, up and down. And a guy like Isaiah Washington, a.k.a. Jelly, Big Jelly, that's when he's at his best.
Glad you cleared that up.
Yes.
Crawford. Not there. But the fight from Washington takes it right back.
Jelly coming up big right there.
AG. Big fake. Down the lane. The finger roll. Scooping it in. Tawan AG ties us at 22.
Talked about the talent level of a guy like AG with a huge athletic play.
And then on the other end, Taylor, a hard drive, takes the contact, and Quinn Taylor will shoot two.
And you like St. Peter's. They come right back at you. They don't allow you to celebrate your make. Good fake, strong take, avoids the charge, beautiful lay. He gives you a little jelly himself. Can you jelly?
I don't know that I can.
It's called a jelly roll, finger roll, jelly roll.
Got it.
I thought I needed to explain that to you.
I appreciate it because right now I was thinking it could have been any number of things. So I was thinking more George Gervin when I saw the finger roll there.
Well, you know what?
Taking it way, way back.
That's the Iceman.
The Iceman.
But the young fella here, Isaiah Washington, has a huge following, Jelly family. He's Big Jelly. There are a couple of small jellies around here.
And they all do the jelly roll.
And they all do the jelly roll.
Now, I am aware of a pastry called a jelly roll, which I don't know if that's related at all.
No. Jelly donuts are good also.
Washington. Shot clock under 10. St. Peter's ahead by 1. AG fading. Back rim and away. The shooting woes continue.
Great defense by Woods, again pushing AG off the box.
Gales now 9% from the field, 8 for 27. St. Peter's at 17%, 8 for 33.
More importantly, they're only down by 1 if you're Iona. St. Peter's, you hold a 1-point lead, and you haven't shot the ball well either. So there's some silver linings for both teams. If you want to look at the glass half full.
And I know you always do.
That's what I do. Positive energy is a gift.
Where does St. Peter's go for some offense?
For St. Peter's, they've been really good off the dribble drive. The guards are great getting into that lane.
Estrada right there, could not connect. Banks able to clean it up. And before a potential travel from Derek Woods, officials will stop to take a look at the clock. They're going to reset it. It had gone to 20. They'll put it back down to 16.
We say congratulations to Coach Holloway being named Coach of the Year. They should put a camera on this guy. He is so active and energetic on the sideline.
He's the sixth man on the court that can't touch the ball, but
no
he's right
about
there
it.
With the energy, the body language. Woods and Agee, a familiar matchup. Battling lefty hook.
That was a nice, solid move by Woods. Able to use that dribble to get himself in good position. Couldn't finish.
We often hear about a lid on the rim early in the game when no one can score. We have seen the ball go through the basket, just not all that regularly. Crawford. AG with 8 on the clock. Good look down low, but Von Eyck looked like he might have hit it off the underside of the backboard in a difficult position.
Love the interaction between AG and Von Eyck. AG's always getting on Von Eyck to get a little bit more out of him, but I love the way he responds, meaning Von Eyck.
AG, good catch down low, can't finish, but he will go to the line.
this Iona team, boy, they give you a lot of different emotions. AG unable to finish, going to the free throw line. But remember, they're used to going up and down. These guys like to score the basketball. So this is a test to their will and their mental toughness. And as a team that's a championship team, has a championship pedigree, you're going to have to win games like this to get to where you want to be.
And that was the face of a frustrated Shaheen Holloway as his team fouled this man, AG, under the basket. We talked about it, this connection. You don't get to win all the things this team has won, and then in a year where it would have been understandable. Your coach is out,
right?
New personnel. It would have made sense if they didn't make a push, but they did. They made a real run, scaring a lot of people, and now here they are in the tournament. You don't understand if they weren't that strong, but you sense the bond they have.
No question about it. Iona's taking the lead, 24-23.
Up by 1, thanks to Crawford from the free throw line. And Woods in close, can't hit.
Wow, 2 beautiful moves by Woods. He couldn't finish.
Iona has gone in front. St. Peter's has led in this one. Crawford is blocked. A difficult try. Banks taking it away.
Talked about that spin move. They all use it.
Estrada. Washington daring him to go right. Lefty steps back. Barely draws the rim. Taylor's blocked away from behind. Crawford coming over to swat that out of bounds. Reinforcements coming off the bench for St. Peter's, including the Defensive Player of the Year, But first, we've reached the under 16 timeout. A 24-23 lead. Iona has taken the lead.
Tournament, the team, the coaches, the players have been really good. It'll be disappointing not to see the fans, but we understand safety is more important. But thus far, Atlantic City has been thumbs up for me.
And we got the same report from Commissioner Rich Enser at halftime, really appreciative of how the tournament has gone thus far, and all the feedback has been really excited about this location. Eddard off the window and cannot connect. AG frustrated as he had leaked out. He was in front of the crowd, could not get it. Washington now to the hoop. Around the way, Crawford. Officials checking with each other, and an offensive foul, and Trey Arnold can't believe it.
That's a tough call. Again, I thought Crawford may have had the benefit of the doubt, but because when you're a really good defensive team like St. Peter's, a lot of things proceeded. But right now it looks like Taylor's still on the floor after taking that charge.
And the only thing that might stand out as we look at that replay, the official on the near side called it, and he had the inside look of Crawford using the off arm to kind of shield himself from the defender. May have read that as a bit of a push-off.
Well, again, the call stands, and I said when you're a really good defensive team, you will get those type calls, and St. Peter's has established that.
It's a 1-point lead for Iona after St. Peter's led throughout this one. Watson comes up with the loose ball.
Like to see St. Peter's get some paint touches with their guards.
Lee from distance. Not there. Nadefo, a good fight. Eddard from way downtown cans it.
Big time three from Eddard. They needed that. The best time to shoot the 3G. Loose ball situation, a scramble, where that goes inside out or in transition. That time was a loose ball scramble situation.
Even from 40 feet, let it ride. Doug Eddard, the all-rookie team selection from Nutley, New Jersey, in his home state, hitting from deep.
That was long range, but he had his feet set, hands ready.
Nadefo called for the foul, trying to patrol on the perimeter.
That's a tough call on KC. That's the type of foul, or at least you want that one to play on.
And that'll be the third foul on Nadefo. That's a big number on their top defender, AG. Right back, pulling his way through. Hooks it up and in. Even at 26, thanks to Tawan AG.
Solid move. That's Bogart basketball. Toss it in down low to me. Let me see what I can do.
In a game where points have come at a premium, Tawan AG has 16. Woods.
That's what I'm talking about. Come right back to Woods. He had made solid moves previously when he was in the ball game, unable to finish. That time, draw the foul. He's at the free throw line. Great position, takes his time, goes right to the inside, cleared out a little space, draws the foul, going to the line.
And here's Woods. Chance to put St. Peter's back in front. Off the side of rim and away. Derek Woods, the senior from Trenton, New Jersey. Well-traveled Delaware. St. Bonaventure here at St. Peter's now.
Woods got two things going for him also, G. You know that.
Lefty and wearing number 20.
Number 20.
We know it. And from Trenton, that's pretty close.
It's close. Distant cousin.
It's one of two. St. Peter's back in front by one.
Lee applying that pressure.
AG works into Crawford, stepping through. Drame from behind, helping, and then a foul. Crawford trying to pick the pocket on the way down. And that will be his third foul.
That's a tough foul. Thought Crawford had established himself in a good scoring position, maybe drawing some contact. They converge on the double team comes over. That's a block from behind.
Tries to take it away from Dallas Watson reaching in. Crawford stays in with 3. Lee. Nice kick out to Watson. Eddard thought about it again. Now the sky-high floater. A raindrop for Eddard.
That's good dribble drive basketball, G. Everyone, good shot fake, get deep into the lane. Not a good shot. You sacrifice, get it out to your teammate. But Eddard using the floater once again, but it goes high to the ceiling and comes straight down.
We know St. Peter's will use about 12 guys. They just need 1 to get in the groove. Crawford can't connect. Von Eyck, a good fight. And a bump as Crawford tried to split through Facini, Drame, and Lee.
I like what E.J. Crawford is doing right now. He understands he's a scorer. I need to get some shots in my system to get me going. I know if I can hit a shot, it'll get me going.
So Eddard showed us the long-range try earlier and now able to penetrate and put it up over everyone.
Beautiful floater over A.G.
Eddard from Jersey High School Power, Bergen Catholic. And keeping local at St. Peter's as Perez lets fly. Drame has the rebound. Washington takes it away, and then a foul in the backcourt and frustration for Hassan Drame.
That's the second time Isaiah Washington has done that. When someone comes down with a rebound, able to steal it from behind. I've seen him on tape do that a number of times. He's a very good rebounder for a guard, but he's sneaky quick.
Holloway disagreeing perhaps. As you said, you just keep a camera trained on him. The reactions are classic. And he may have another one now as Woods is called for a foul before it can even be inbounded.
Man, that's a tough call. I'm not a huge fan of that call, G. I told you before, when you have legit bigs on the floor, you got to let them battle a little bit. They lean on one another. They get tired.
AG now to the line for 1 and 1. And he'll get another. That was the 7th team foul on St. Peter's. Here's a second look at that foul, Smooth.
Oh, come on, G. That looks like you trying to get to the buffet.
You're exactly
They've
right.
Never call foul for
never
that.
once been whistled.
Wow.
That's a tough one to call. AG knocks them both down. He's proven savvy in that area, though, able to draw fouls and earn himself some opportunities. And Tawan AG now with a game-high 18 points. A 29-28 lead for the Peacocks. The 2 seed taking on the 7th-seeded Gales. We'll keep things right here as Lee is fouled on the way to the bucket. But now it's time for our Hercules Tires strong move of the game. And this move came from deep. Shots aren't going down. Then Doug Eddard says, let me try this one from deep. And that's our strong move of the game, presented by Hercules Tires. We're back with more.
But I made it clear. I think the difference between every team in this league is a 8-0 run. Can you sustain an 8-0 run, or can you create an 8-0 run? We haven't had much runs in this game.
We have not. It's been a lot of slow walking. Woods trying inside. Draws the foul on the hook shot behind his head.
Now, St. Peter's has done a really good job of establishing post position for Woods. Now he's starting to get to the free throw line. This might be an area they just want to feed him in and work off of his post positioning.
And Woods to the line for the 1 and 1 as now both teams are in the bonus.
There's plenty of time left to be in the bonus. 11:56 remaining.
Derek Woods will get one more. So he again goes 1 of 2 from the line. And a 2-point lead for St. Peter's. Making their MAAC tournament debut here in 2020, the 2 seed. Crawford backing down low. This will be steps before he got to the bucket. Those feet were sliding through the lane.
Classic case of E.J. Crawford had his mind set. He was going to the basket before he even got the ball. Defense ready there, prepared for him.
Eddard. Here's Lee, now Drame working for Woods. It's tipped away on the difficult entry pass. Gales now move out. Crawford changing hands, flipping it up, counted and one.
I like that a lot by E.J. Crawford. Good defensive set there, came up with the tip, gets out in transition, has to get that ball. Good finish using a Euro. Maybe that'll get him going.
Good dish. Crawford stepping through and connecting. And as you alluded to, Crawford, his first field goal. This is the leading scorer in the conference. He averages 19 points per game. He scored 24 points in the first meeting against St. Peter's, 22 in the second. That was his first bucket. He now has 4, looking for 5.
11-17 remaining. I guarantee E.J. Crawford's going to get some shots up.
1 for 7 right now, but as you said, a shooter. No reason he won't let fly. And plays like this can be the things that get guys on track. A 3-point play, and Iona once again takes the lead, 31-30. Eddard again from deep, this time off the mark.
And give some credit to Van Eyck, giving that ball up, understanding that Crawford needed to score.
See if they work for Crawford more. And they do.
Watch
pour it in.
There it comes.
There it is, a bump and a foul, as Crawford was working on Taylor.
Professional scorer. Like him in that mid-post. He can be so effective.
Was flexing that right knee. He had that looked at last night, too, in the win over Canisius.
Great spin to the baseline. Again, with his size, that's a tough guard at 6'6", strong build, going to his strong hand, which is his left.
9th team foul in St. Peter's, but a shooting foul. And Crawford hits on both, and this is their largest lead of the game. 3 points, 33-30. St. Peter's had led by as many as 7. Shot clock to 15. Taylor, that's good, a smooth jumper. Actually make it Dallas Watson.
Dallas Watson was a starter last year, comes off the bench. Great energy. New York on New York there. Watson from St. Raymond's pulls up for the mid-range. Well, both guys from St. Raymond's.
High school powers
yes.
battling each other.
No question.
A travel on AG. Took a little skip across the lane before he dealt that one away. No complaints from Trey Arnold.
And my one complaint with this Iona offense right now, I want Tawan AG on the box, Greg. You got to be down there, Tawan, in this grind-out type ball game. That's where you can be most effective.
And we've seen him go that route earlier on when they were really struggling from the field. He decided to post up and was able to draw some free throws. This time Watson is turned back by AG, but a foul, and Dallas Watson now will go to the line.
Dallas Watson drawing that contact, using the off arm. Looked like a clean block from here. But again, he was aggressive going to the cup. Oftentimes when you're aggressive, the officials will reward you.
And AG came through with the big follow-through. Watson connects on the first, and just that fast, we're tied at 33.
And you talk about guys giving up minutes. Watson played significant minutes in his freshman season, and then he's in a situation where he has to platoon and come off the bench. Understandably, he may be upset or disappointed, but this is the type of guy who buys into the system and comes in and gives you great energy off the bench.
Played in every game last year.
Correct.
Started 17, just starting in 2 games this season. And we know starting lineups aren't the end-all, be-all, but that is a change in status going from your freshman to sophomore season. And E.J. Crawford hitting on the step back. And after the cold start, 0 for 6, he's knocked down his last 2 field goals.
Again, if I know E.J. Crawford like I know E.J. Crawford, he's going to put some shots up before it's all said and done.
Watson to answer. Circles the rim and away. The Gales ahead by 1. Can Crawford continue to get on a roll? You talked about shooters like him continuing to shoot. Instead, Washington to the hoop, off the window. That'll work, and the contact.
Jelly fam going right back at Watson. St. Raymond's on St. Raymond's, going to his right hand. The nice English off the glass, looking for the and one. Good quick move. I'm assuming these guys have played against each other before at St. Ray's. Off the glass, give me some jelly to close out an and one.
The change of direction, fierce for Washington. All the way to the hoop, and now to give the Gales a 4-point lead.
Washington has all the dribble moves in his arsenal.
Now 10 points for Isaiah Washington. Estrada had an opening, change of direction, the floater. Every part of the rim and off. Under 9 to play, second half.
Thought that was a good move by Aaron, getting deep into the lane. Floater with the left hand. The guard play is going to have to dominate for St. Peter's going forward.
Here's Perez. Dealing, AG, one-hand slam. Gales push ahead by 6.
Beautiful dish off by Perez off the dribble handoff action. AG closes it out with the monster dunk, one hand.
Tawan AG on a night when the Gales can't seem to connect. The senior, 20 points, the last 2, drops the hammer. Gales ahead 40-34. Lead in this one, 40-34.
Off a beautiful feed from Perez, dribble handoff action. Iona got a little space.
Taylor on the move. He'll get the N1. Quinn Taylor back to work, and now to the free throw line.
I love the relentlessness of this St. Peter's team. Coming out the timeout, Taylor goes right out of AG. Squares him up. AG not in great position. Again, underneath the rim, takes the contact. Taylor looking for an and one.
Frustration for AG. Shooting percentages have climbed now. St. Peter's up to 26%. Iona 35%.
The Nets are sizzling right now, huh?
Taylor here for the three-point play. He connects, and it's now a three-point game, 40-37.
Well, the one thing when you come into tournament basketball, Greg, it's important to understand you can't fall in love with pretty basketball. You want to win and advance regardless of how it looks.
And that's what it's going to take here for Iona. Keep in mind, 4 fouls now on Isaiah Ross, 4 on Tawan Agee. So they will have to, as you noted, grind their way to the finish. Washington. Good look to Ross to the hoop. How'd he get that one to go down? All kinds of traffic, and Isaiah Ross lays it in. 5-point lead.
Beautiful pass. Really good catch by Ross in traffic and to get it up off the glass.
St. Peter's, they were in control of this one in the first half. Gales have roared back. Now a scramble, a takeaway. Ross comes up with it. Iona now looking to advance. They get it across the timeline, and then Taylor comes over. Looks as if he had the steal. We'll see who the foul is awarded on. But first we have the under 8 timeout on the way. 7:31 to play. Intensity, it's been there throughout. Now the scoring picking up. Gales in front by 5.
And I stated, you usually have to get through a game that's really ugly that you probably shouldn't win to get to the championship.
Perez able to hit AG on the bench now with 4 fouls. And Iona ever so subtly expanding that lead. Now in front, 44-37. 7-point advantage, their biggest of the night.
Let's see if St. Peter's can get some offense with the guards they have on the floor. They were very effective with the dribble drive, getting into the lane.
Lee tries to deal it off inside to Nadefo. Quick hands from the Gales in close.
Van Eyck with good defense, standing his ground, active hands.
Crawford, he got started a few minutes back. Shot clock under 10. Here's Ross. Timer to 5. Crawford, his time, fading, takes the contact. That's an air ball. Nadefo comes up with it. Here's the long outlet. Estrada 1-on-2, changing hands. He is stuffed by Van Eyck. Eddert, the beneficiary from downtown. It all works for St. Peter's. The triples there for the freshman.
Said it earlier, Greg, the best time to hit the 3 in transition, in and out basketball or scramble situation.
Washington right back off the window. The bucket is good. The foul is there.
Isaiah Washington going to the lane, a.k.a. Jelly, off the glass.
Eddert, a big 3 on the other end. Washington takes the bump and hits. What an answer.
Strong with the basketball. I told you he has all the dribble moves in his arsenal. Very subtle, moving over, getting his body in position to take that contact, but he puts it high off the glass, looking for a 3-point play.
Knocks it down. And just that quick. 1 3 is answered by another. It's back to a 7-point advantage for the Gales.
Again, St. Peter's effective with the dribble drive.
Eddert off the pick. Off the back rim. A foul. They'll call it against Perez as Taylor had gotten position. Eddert, he was looking for another 3. This was the most recent one, a broken play, Smooth, that results in a triple.
Again, because your defense is in a scramble mode, if you can find a 3-point shooter, that's the best look they can get. In a lot of cases, everyone in the building understands Eddert's a good 3-point shooter, so you're going to try to get at him. But in a scramble, everybody's all discombobulated. Hey, I'm wide open. I got to knock this down.
And he's a 45% shooter from deep, so odds are it's going down. Taylor now to the line.
And right now, St. Peter's scoring off of hustle plays, just continue to work at it. Iona, they're doing it with their talent, getting out in the open court. You saw that good move by Washington. Who can sustain this for the next 6-14?
And Taylor hits on both. .6:05 to play, second half. Who can make that final run, as you alluded to? Who can sustain this effort and advance? Winner here takes on the winner of Ryder and Niagara. Washington, step back. Another Isaiah Washington.
And he gives you a sneaky grin as he knocks down the 3 off the step back.
It's an 8-point lead now. Eddert left free. Let it go. Well off the mark. The follow, the swat from behind on Crawford. They'll call a foul. Crawford thinking shot block, but a foul is called on the rebound attempt down low.
In EJ's defense, that was a late whistle. Eddert from long range doesn't catch anything. Casey had the inside position. Looked clean from this vantage point there. But I thought that was a really late whistle, G. We didn't hear that.
And now Nadefo to the line, and now you're talking about 4 fouls apiece on Crawford, Ross, and AG. 3 important pieces for Iona. Nadefo hits the first.
In this case, Crawford stays on the floor. Understandably, I think the coach understands that Crawford knows this is his last go-round, and he can play with those fouls.
Nadefo calmly hits both. Hassan Drame returns. replacing Eddard. And we could see a little offense-defense here as Eddard is stationed right by the scorer's table. Peacocks trailing by 6. Well, Tawan Agee carried the Gales early. E.J. Crawford got going. And then Isaiah Washington, as of late, he has 16 points. Ross dribbled it right off his foot, trying to turn the corner.
That's good defense. Off the weave, Iona just trying to make something happen. St. Peter's has seen it a couple of times already, able to poke that off the foot of Ross.
That's the
4, so no one really has an advantage. And if you feel confident and comfortable, your stuff should work, you put yourself at a great advantage.
And you're seeing some of that comfort here for Iona as they've gotten in gear in this second half, although now giving the foul on the Defo, and he will go to the line. That was out on the perimeter. Colton Cashaw, who has come on, the junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, getting on the court for the first time tonight.
Throughout the season, I thought Cashaw has given them some really quality minutes at the point guard position. A pass-first guard looking to get everyone else involved.
Andrea Rastanovic battling some illness this week, so he has not been available thus far at the tournament for Iona. And we know Asante Gist has been out, now going on 14 games after getting injured earlier in the year. So what was a small rotation has gotten smaller for the Gales.
Well, not having Gist is huge. That's an all-conference type guard who's been in big situations, played well in the tournament last year. You take him out of the lineup, so a lot of other guys have to step up.
Casey Nadefo stepping up, knocking down 2 big free throws to make it a 4-point game at the 5-minute mark here in the second half.
Let's see if St. Peter's can turn their defense into offense.
Washington, he's gotten comfortable in this second half. Changing directions, fading, back rim, and if that one had dropped, Isaiah Washington would have been in some kind of zone here. Lee now to respond. Off the window, the bank is available late in Atlantic City for Matthew Lee.
Lee didn't call glass, but he'll take it.
A 1-point game, 50-49.
Now, I talked about their defense generating offense off the stop. That was a transition-type basket.
Washington a travel, dragged that pivot foot as he tried to spot Von Eyck under the basket. A turnover. And now a technical.
Yes.
A technical on Trey Arnold.
And Iona can't unravel. 4:20 remaining. We talked about St. Peter's. They're not going to go away, Greg. You knew they were going to make their run with their defense. You had that early offense 3 from Lee off the glass. Another turnover here. Now the technical. You get a number of points in a small period of time.
Trey Arnold in his second season, the associate head coach, acting head coach. And now Estrada to the line, and he knocks down the first.
Didn't quite see what happened, but it was a lot of chirping going on throughout this basketball game. The Iona bench and players have not been happy with the officiating.
Estrada knocks down another just that quick. St. Peter's pulls in front. They had trailed by 6 just moments ago.
The lefty Rookley calmly knocks down both free throws, and St. Peter's has possession.
How about this? A 9-0 run for the Peacocks over the last 113. That's quick.
What's the magic number, G, throughout this entire league?
It's an 8-0 run, so they're right there with 9.
You got it.
I've been doing my homework.
Thank you.
4:10 to play. Second half. A deflection into the bench. It will stay with St. Peter's.
Quick hands by Crawford. That was going to be an open 3 for Estrada.
Iona led 50-42. With 5:51 to play, and in a blink, St. Peter's back in front.
No lead is safe.
Eddard thought about it again from distance. A tough floater. Can't get the roll. Taylor battling somehow in close. Out to Lee, fading for 3. That can't go. And it'll be Iona basketball.
Quentin Taylor doing a great job getting that inside position. That was a big-time rebound.
St. Peter's, timeout called. A 9-0 run, the latest. Lee from downtown, off the glass, He'll take it.
Moments.
And that would only be fitting, as the previous two meetings this year, yes, wins for St. Peter's, but both one-possession basketball games, and that's been how Iona's done it all year long. 14 games this year, it's either been a 20-plus point deficit or a one-possession game, a real feast or famine. Here comes Lee, breaking out. The deal to Banks, to the hoop, stuffed from behind. Perez there with the denial, and now the Gales move into the front court.
Thought that was going to be an easy one for Banks. Perez with the big-time defensive play, and the Iona Gales turn into instant offense in transition with the dunk by Van Eyck.
Right back. A 1-point lead for the Gales, approaching the 3-minute mark.
The Gales turning their defense into offense.
Nadefo controlling. Taylor right down the lane off the window. Nadefo trying to keep it alive. Drame in the mix. A scrum on the court. A tie-up. And it looks to be another jump ball. And the arrow will keep things right here.
This is what you're used to seeing during tournament basketball. Everyone going all out. A nice scrum getting down to the floor.
Back and forth action. That's the way it's been rolling here. Great block from behind. Perez, the Gales, and Washington, they keep their head up, continue the attack, and the junior Dylan Van Eyck rolling to the hoop, able to finish at the rim.
Again, a beautiful pass by Washington, able to maneuver through the defense, keeping that dribble alive. And I like Van Eyck being able to get that dunk. That's a reward for him. He does a lot of the dirty work, and it seems as though sometimes AG gets on him, but he handles it. Talked to Coach earlier. He said these guys have really short memories. They can yell at each other for a while. Before you know it, they're laughing and hugging one another. During the course of the season, that happens. But in a battle like this, you want to make sure you keep everybody together and working on one accord.
And that's what happens to the teams that go far in the postseason. And you've got two evenly matched squads here as the officials are reviewing that last play. A 52-51 lead for Iona. Chris Williams, Greg Meskel joining you from Boardwalk Hall, Atlantic City, New Jersey. First year down in AC for the MAAC championship, and they are double-checking the shot clock after that last play. It has been a seesaw battle. The first half, neither side could find a way to shoot the basketball. Second half, you saw Iona jump out with an 8-point lead. St. Peter's responded with a 9-0 run, and since then you've seen this seesaw back and forth.
Well, didn't I tell you, Greg, things would open up in the second half?
You did.
I do have a little bit of basketball knowledge, but you question it on occasion, but it's fine. It's okay. But both teams started making some shots. I thought in the second half, you make some adjustments, go into halftime, kind of discuss some things on what you want to do, what units you want to bring out, who you want to use in a different situation. And basically, defensively, both teams have turned their defense into offense, getting out in transition, taking shots, and making shots you know you can make.
You saw two teams that struggled offensively, and they did what good teams do. When those shots aren't falling, you chip away with some of the quote-unquote easier things. Get to the basket, post up. That led to trips to the free throw line. That's really how Crawford got his first couple of buckets. And then from there, it starts to expand. As now we'll get an answer from our officials here as to what the story is.
2:47 on the game clock. We're at 6 seconds on the shot clock. All right, they had a malfunction. It went from 6 seconds to a full 30. No one had possession, so we're going to take it down to 2:43. At that point, we're going to have 2 seconds on the shot clock, all right?
Officials coming over. A clock malfunction, if you caught some of that. Long story short, 2 on the shot clock, 2:43 on the game clock. And so a quick opportunity here for St. Peter's. An inbound. Taylor fading. Baseline jumper. Can't get the roll, and Crawford is there for the rebound.
Not a bad look with 2 seconds remaining on the clock. In all honesty, that's plenty of time. He could have put that ball on the floor, danced on the rim, and it came off.
Under 2.5 to play. 1-point lead for the 4-time defending champs. Crawford. A whistle. A block is the call. Officials check with each other.
I think everybody on the Iona side held their breath. Very close to being a charging violation. Quinn Taylor trying to move his feet.
And
very questionable. I think because Crawford, a first-teamer, may have gotten a nod, but Taylor was in good position. What do you say, G?
That's a make-or-break moment because if it's on Crawford, he's done.
Yes.
That's his 5th. Instead, he stays in. He hits the free throw. Second time we've seen that hold-your-breath moment where the officials have checked with each other, and one has made the emphatic call of either a charge or a block. Crawford good on both. A 3-point lead for the Gales.
Well, again, EJ and Tawan on the floor both have 4 fouls.
They have stuck around for quite some time now with 4. 2 veteran players knowing how to play in foul trouble. Eddard thought about long range, passed on it. It looked like Holloway wanted him to let fly. Estrada spinning, a double team. He has his pocket picked by Washington.
That's excellent defense from Tawan Agee. He was in great help side position, able to come up with that help side steal.
Under 2 minutes now. Ben Perez works to Washington. Gales have the ball and the lead. Washington losing control, taken away. St. Peter's comes up with it. Taylor now on the move, shovels to Eddard, tying 3 on the way. Back rim, Taylor skying high in a foul.
Greg, I talked about this earlier in the basketball game. When you have consistent pressure, you can handle it, but once in a while you might get a little lazy with the basketball. Isaiah Washington, great handle, loses it there, turnover in a big spot.
That's a big turnover late in this one. And now Quinn Taylor with some massive free throws with under 90 seconds to play in this quarterfinal matchup. Calmly knocks down the first.
The senior, as steady as a rock, glue guy, does all the little things that may not show up on the stat sheet.
He was the veteran presence on this team of younger guys, only returner to start over 30 games, and they've needed him along with everyone else. Now a chance to hit one more. He does, rattles it in. It's a 1-point game, 54-53, under 90 seconds left. We've got a thrilling finish in the nightcap here on day 2 at the MAAC Championship Tournament, and a timeout called by St. Peter's, a 30-second timeout with 1:20 to play. It's about finishing in the clutch. 1:18 to go, second half. 54-53, the lead for Iona. Washington will set the table. Here's Crawford. Timer to 8. Crawford looking for space. Timer to 3. Crawford, he's got to go. Travel before he gets that shot off. Travels, moving to his right, and turns the ball over.
Excellent defense by St. Peter's. That's not exactly what I wanted to see from Crawford. Didn't need that screen. When he got the ball, the traffic comes over to him. When I talk about the mid-post, maybe a little bit lower so he can square you up, not needing to put the ball on the floor.
Quinn Taylor there again in a team that plays a ton of personnel. He's been big. Lee stepping in. Jumper. No good. The follow. A foul.
KC on the glass. Again, I talked about him defensively going after everything, but on the offensive end, he goes for every rebound. At 6'7", undersized, comes up with a huge rebound.
Conference 6th man of the year. He's in there when it counts. Among 3 Iona Gales, snags the rebound, and now to the line for 2 free throws to try and give St. Peter's the lead back. Off to the right on the first one, and now a chance to tie.
This one right here is a big one because it allows you maybe to relax just a little because you understand the game is tied, and defensively, if you get a stop, you can close it out.
Estrada and Hassan Drame return. Eddard waiting. Darrell Banks back in. Second free throw is there. We're tied at 54. 44 seconds left. Here's Isaiah Washington. Calmly brings it across half court and now sets up. About a 14-second differential, shot and game clock. 12 on the timer. Washington works to AG. 8 on the clock. AG bulling down low, faking, putting it up. No good off the back iron. A scramble near the bench. St. Peter's comes up with it. And they'll call a timeout with 16 seconds left.
St. Peter's, once again, defensively, great stand in the post area, bodying up AG. I thought he had established great position, unable to get a clean look. St. Peter's comes down with the rebound.
Well, they tried Crawford previously on this pivotal possession. AG bulling his way down low, too strong off the backboard, and then St. Peter's able to walk the tightrope. The Gales looking for perhaps an out-of-bounds violation, but first a timeout was called.
Well, again, AG did a really good job. Anytime a post player can get both feet in the lane, there's a strong possibility they're going to score or get fouled. St. Peter's doing a great job walling up, making the shot difficult, then coming down with a huge rebound, calling a timeout. 16.4 remaining. They should be able to get a great look.
Now, last time out, you knew Crawford was the man to go to. St. Peter's has no shortage of options.
I like St. Peter's, again, because they have so many guards who can handle the ball. Love their dribble drive action. What I would like to see, Aaron Estrada coming off some sort of screen. I think they'll do a weave, but him getting into the lane, creating something, if he gets deep in there where he can score it himself, making that decision, or getting it out to one of the shooters, knock down, be prepared, ready to shoot.
We showed you at the top of our show in the last 2 meetings between these two, one possession ball games at the finish. It was Darrell Banks III with the driving layup to beat Iona back in January. And then just last week, it was Matthew Lee, the go-ahead triple to defeat the Gales. So those were the two heroes in the previous meetings. As they return to the court, let's see who tries to step up for St. Peter's in this moment. It's win or go home time here in the postseason in this quarterfinal matchup. Semifinals await.
Look at the huge difference between Iona and St. Peter's. Now, St. Peter's would have put pressure on the ball. Iona allows you to bring it up and take a look at your set.
10 seconds left. Shot clock is off. St. Peter's can go for the win here in AC. Lee giving off to Estrada. 3 left. Estrada, step back, jump. Got it! With 9/10 of a second left, St. Peter's has pulled in front by 2.
Only fitting. I talked about Aaron Estrada getting into the lane. The lefty rookie of the year, cleared out space, got himself in mid-range, knocks it down.
What a shot from Aaron Estrada. And there looked to be a call right after that play. The officials are going to review at the scorer's table.
I think Iona had the wherewithal to call a timeout. 0.9 remaining. Estrada comes off, again, clears a little space, able to get that lefty available. Nothing but bottom.
And pure joy for the MAAC Rookie of the Year. An All-MAAC third team selection. The All-MAAC rookie teamer out of Woodbury, New Jersey. Then St. Benedict's. A big-time shot. And now 9/10 of a second left for Iona to try and come up with an answer. But let's take one more look at this one, Smooth.
Again, Perez trying to overplay the drive to his left. Estrada feeling that defense, able to create some space with this step back, but you love that he got himself in mid-range. When you get into that mid-range area, those shots are so much easier. Again, the big guard raises up, knocks it down.
9/10 of a second left. They will reset it now to 1.0 after reviewing. Iona, that was their last timeout as they prepare to answer.
Again, all is not lost. We talked about these games are never over until zeros are across the board. Last year, we showed the clip of how Iona was in a position and St. Peter's put a little scare in them. I believe in this situation here, you can get that ball to AG at the middle there. He can turn and score it.
They've got to go length of the court. Von Eyck to inbound. 1 second left. Here's Washington from half court for the win. No good. St. Peter's is moving on. The 2 seed will advance, and Iona's run of MAAC championships comes to a close.
I love what Coach Holloway did. He did not want his team to go overboard with excitement. He said, relax, come over here, and act like we've done this before.
And under the health protocol rules, no post-game handshakes, so both teams just giving a wave to each other after a hard-fought matchup and a 56-54 win for St. Peter's. Iona's epic run in this tourney comes to a close. And Smooth is going to check in now with some victorious members.